Hello. Morning.
Can I start with some of the fitness of the squad? I know Kai Havertz was out of Brentford without a sickness bug. Is he going to make the squad tomorrow?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Has anyone else been affected by that bug?
No, the ones with the illness, I think they're gonna be okay. Hopefully, they will train today, and if everybody's fine, they should be available.
That's about Raheem Sterling as well. Is he like, what's the update on him?
Yeah, I think he's starting to do some stuff on the pitch, so that's great news. So yeah, as quick as possible, we want him available. Let's see how he progresses next week, and then see if we get him available for the following week.
Just find a couple as well. Ben White and Tommy Asu, how are they getting on?
Ben is still a few weeks away, and Tommy again has done some stuff on the pitch, but now it's to see. Obviously, it's been a long-term injury, and we need to see how quickly he can progress and how Danny reacts. But hopefully, good.
Declan Rice, he was on the bench for the Brentford game. He's got 8 games coming up for the rest of January. Is that something you're going to have to continue doing to manage the minutes of all your players?
Yeah, on his case, especially, he plays so much football. We had 9 games in this period, in this month, and he has some niggles in the last few games. He had to come off, and yeah, we have to manage every player, and he's not an exception for sure.
I think after the game against Brentford, you said you're really happy with the players that you have here. But if you were to say, is it more likely that you'll sign someone in January, or more likely that you won't sign someone in January?
I don't know. Again, because the focus is with the players that we have. It's something extraordinary in the market that we can afford, and we believe that it's going to have a real impact in the team. We have to be open for that possibility always, because that's why we have the ability to change the squad, to improve the squad in the windows. But at the moment, the focus is what we have.
In terms of what you do you see anyone maybe leaving this January? Someone like Kieran perhaps? What do you think is going to happen with him?
Again, all the players that they are there, I just want to focus on performing and impacting the team. And if something happens there, we will assess it.
Just finally, Ethan Nwaneri, it was a really impressive
Yeah.
performance from him against Brentford. Is he the most natural replacement, you think, for Bukayo Saka while he's out?
I mean, he's a player can play in various positions. It's not a position that he's played a lot, to be fair, even when he was in the academy level. But yeah, he can adapt basically for the demands that we have in 2-3 positions, and I think he did really well there.
Go to Nick from the Premier League.
Hello.
Good seeing you. Can I please ask you about Mikel Merino? The start of his journey at Arsenal wasn't easy, picked up an injury immediately, but since then he settled really well. Gives a really strong balance in midfield as well. How would you reflect the way he settled here and the value he gives in midfield?
Yeah, well, we expected a very fast integration because he's playing the league, because he's such an intelligent and experienced player, and I think he fits very well our model. The thing is that, as you said, he had an injury. They had another little niggle, and he had no pre-season because he played for Spain as well, and it took him just a while to start to get set. But now you can see straight away the impact that he has in the team, his intelligence, the goal threat that he offers to the team, and then more and more will come because he's a natural leader as well. And the moment that he grows in the role, I think we'll see much more from him.
Can I please ask you about Gabriel Jesus? Another goal on Wednesday night. I was wondering when things were going well for him. He dealt with injuries, for example. How much belief he had to show in himself, and how much belief he had to show in him as well?
Yeah, it's about supporting our players, and the players know that they have to go through sometimes periods that is not exactly how they planned it, because injuries are part of that, but as well they have to believe in themselves, and we have to make sure that if one day they doubt, we are there to recognize and make sure that they feel from our side how much we like them and how happy we are to have them.
Brighton this weekend, they haven't won the Premier League in the last 7 games. They managed to really challenge you when you played them early this season. What do you expect from them tomorrow evening?
Yes, a really tough opponent. When you see as well the record they scored at home, their way of playing, the capacity they have to adapt to different scenarios, different shapes, really impressive. I think he's done something slightly different to before. I really like them, to be fair, really impressed with what they've done.
George from the BBC.
Mikel, I just wondered, on Ethan and Miles, you've given them their Premier League debuts. Is that something you wanted to change at Arsenal, just giving more youth players as a target yourself this season, or has it just happened because of injuries? Or was that something you wanted to do as manager, is try and bring more players through from the academy?
The first thing that we want is look in the academy. can we get what we want in the academy? That's option number one. If we don't have it there, then we have to look elsewhere, or we have to develop our players to different positions and make them more versatile. We have to go in the market and recruit. And I think those two players, I think they are playing because they deserve, not because of injuries, because we had other options to play other players, and they are playing because they deserve to play.
You come from probably the greatest academy in world football, and I'm not going to ask you to compare the two, Arsenal and Barcelona, but is there things you've taken from Barcelona that you've maybe tried to implement in Arsenal's academy with the help of the club?
I would love, but the regulations here, unfortunately, are very different, and a lot of the things that, in my opinion, are, the most impactful things, we cannot do them here.
And just how do you see Arsenal's academy developing with you as manager over the next year? What would you like to see?
Many more coming through, and especially that they feel that they have a chance, and any moment, anybody, and the academy means players and staff, because the first thing we do with the staff is exactly the same, that everybody has the ambition, the purpose, and the intention to prepare and to show that any moment they can come and be part of our team.
And is the future bright for the academy and the progress you hope coming through with the players you've got?
I think so, and we have put a lot of work. Per and the team have done a lot of great work, and we are on it. We know the level, as well, and as well with the system that we have at the moment for where they are playing to where they have to come, the gap is huge. But we are trying to find ways to make sure that they can fulfill that gap as quick as possible.
Ian, talkSPORT.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Ian.
Happy New Year. With PSR and not being able to spend lots of money in clubs, the academies are becoming more and more important. Is that another reason why you look to your academy, because it saves you having to go out and spend money that maybe Arsenal don't actually have?
Well, regardless of the PSR, that's the first intention that we always had. The thing is what you need is available in the academy in the time frame that you need it as well, because we can have a lot of talent, but maybe that talent at the moment doesn't have a space in the squad. It's something that we have built over the years to create with the players that they were coming through, a space in that squad, so we can after fulfill those gaps with the players that we have.
For many years, players that have come through your academy have gone on to play international football, especially for England. People are beginning to already say about Lewis Skelly going on and being, especially as England haven't got a whole load of left backs. Would you say that this year, 2025, is a massive year for not only for Arsenal, but possibly for England?
No, I think the focus has to be establishing, first of all, as a first team player and performing at the highest level, and things will happen naturally if they have to happen.
Is he good enough though?
I don't know, till you play at that level, you cannot say, and now is we have to prove is every single day, every training session here, are you good enough to sustain that level consistently? That's the objective.
And the Premier League table would suggest already it's either you or Liverpool that's going to win it. Chelsea have dropped 10 points behind with respect. Nottingham Forest are way back as well. Does that create extra pressure from you? And how much do you gain for the last 2 years where you were in a two-team race with City that maybe you can hunt down Liverpool?
All we have to be is show the same level of consistency and a bit more, because the last year we have been the best team in the league, broken various records, and still haven't won a major trophy. So something is missing, and it can be very tiny, it's small details. You can pick up certain games, certain situations, but at the end is that we are so close, and we just need to flick that coin to the other side to make it happen. And that's only going to happen if we do what we have to do and what we can control. The rest is out of our hands.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Art Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on Ethan and Gabriel Martinelli, obviously two different types of profiles to play on the right. And I was wondering, with loads of games coming in January, would there be times where you might still go to Gabriel Martinelli off the right because of what he can offer there compared to Ethan being quite different?
Yeah. So I said it, I think, on day one when Bukayo got injured. I think it's going to be a lot of different options, and especially with the amount of games that we have, there's no one player going to play 9 games in a row in that position. It's impossible. So we will look at that. We'll look at the opposition as well, because especially the way they defend, the way they occupy spaces, one day A natural footed or inverted footed, it will be more. We need more threat. We need more players' feet and rotations in that unit. In relation to that, we'll make decisions and as well players' performance. That's simple.
Yeah, and on Martinelli, I know you mentioned the Everton game last season, the last game, but he had a few games there a few seasons ago. I don't know if you'd look to those as reference as well or not, because I guess the spaces teams give you now are quite different to the spaces they gave you then, or would that not come into your mind?
Yes, of course, we look at a lot of things. The more recent one as well is when he had to play at Palace, you know, and he played and Palace defended with a back five and quite deep as well, and he produced an assist and a goal coming from that position. So options are great. You know, Gary can play. If Rush is available, obviously he fits it really, really well. We have other options as well.
Tom, Football London.
Hi.
If you win tomorrow, you'll be 2 points better off after 20 games compared to last season. Do you get the sense that your team's performing to a higher level this time around?
To a higher level, yes, and especially to a higher level with a lot of very different circumstances and challenges that we had last year. That's why I think we have made big improvements in that sense.
Yeah, at the same time last year, it would have been fourth place, you were sitting, it'll be second this time around, but the gap, ironically, is actually bigger to the top because Liverpool had such an impressive start. That gap, do you look at that as motivation, or do you try and put that out of the team's mind and just focus more internally?
Yeah, we don't know, and this can fluctuate any week. So again, it sounds boring, but it's about our performance and looking after ourselves, the thing that we can control and keep evolving and improving. And if we perform at the level that we are doing, we win a lot of games. But the reality that every game for everybody is a massive challenge.
Simon, Standard.
Mikel, just on Ben, it sounded fairly positive. Is there a chance he could be back playing before the end of this month?
It might be a possibility, but obviously he hasn't done anything yet with the team. You know, the knee looks good. He's reacted really well. The first few weeks, you know, it's everything going smoothly. And now, okay, he needs to start to load in that knee. He needs to start to get through many more things that up to now he hasn't been able to do. But hopefully he's good. His work ethic is unbelievable. Naturally, he's a really gifted player. So I'm very positive that we're going to have him quite early, but I don't know when.
And just ask you one on Jorginho and Thomas, obviously both out of contract at the end of the season. What's the sort of situation there? Is it concerns you that they can now talk to foreign clubs, and can you envisage a world where you would lose both of them for free in the summer?
Well, when that situation is there in the contract, that's a possibility. It's close communication with them to understand as well what their idea is, what they want to do, express as well our intentions, and then let's decide for everybody what is the best option there. But it's two players that I am very, very happy with, that they are such a value in the squad, and when I want to keep them as well with the right mind frame, because the most important part of the season is coming now.
James, ESPN.
Just following on from that, I'm guessing from the way you're talking, you want to keep them both. Excellent.
What I can say is that it's not about what I want, it's about what those players had in their minds as well, and their situations. And I don't want to start to have these conversations now. I want to have this conversation much later, because the focus now has to be on what we have to do in the season. They can understand the intentions, and then we'll see what we can do.
You said earlier that, right, you know, you've been so close the last couple of years and perhaps something's slightly missing. But there is this idea among some supporters that to win the league you've got to go and sign a striker this month. Do you feel that's too simplistic given the number of goals you scored last season and how well the team's played?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, it can be a perception, it can be a reality. Signing somebody is not enough, that's for sure, because that signing has to score then how many goals? It has to happen a lot of things. Sign and then score 20 goals from here to the end, and then do you have a better chance? Maybe, yes. I don't know. But I'm very happy with the players that we have. I mean, when we look at the amount of goals that we have scored as well, it's more than enough to win a Premier League at our numbers as well. But the reality is that somebody is doing more. That's life. So we have to be better.
Do you think people also have to be a bit realistic about what's possible in January, because it is quite a difficult market?
Well, that market obviously it's much more limited than the one in the summer, but I don't know, people's expectations and dreams and that, I think something good.